Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. This is another of my fictional short stories. This one is called The Old Scientist and the Young Artist. I know to be careful about raised sidewalks. The city doesn't fix them, and you hear about old people falling and even breaking their hip. So I try to be careful. Yet today, thinking about God knows what, my toe hit a raised sidewalk. I dropped, and at my age, it's hard to get up. Fortunately, someone passed by, but she started to step over me, and I moaned, Can you help me up? She sighed, stopped, and extended an arm. Finally up, I said, I sense you're busy. You can go. I'm okay now. Well, maybe all that evoked her inner kindness. Despite her hard, I guess that's what they call, badass appearance today, her face softened. She said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step over you. There's a coffee shop right there. Can I buy you a cup? I said, you helped me. It'd be my pleasure to buy you one. So in we went. I soon learned she was most different from me. I was a retired geneticist, while she is just a year out of art school. And she said, I don't have the money to even start paying back my student loans. I replied, I was lucky to come of age when college was affordable, and so was a house. I actually feel a little sorry for young people. Yeah, me too, she said. But I can't see doing a straight job. I want to be an artist, a political artist. I am thrilled that Mandami won. All our efforts paid off. I understand, I said. Well, that's my canned response when I don't agree, but don't want to get into a debate. Socialism is a short-term feel-good, but as UK Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher famously said, eventually you run out of other people's money. I thought that she took my I understand as assent, and so she felt okay about moving on to another topic. She said, well, tell me about you. Well, I'm a retired geneticist. What does that mean? Well, I spent the first half of my career trying to understand the math behind what makes normal cells become cancerous. But my progress was slow, and I switched to something that turned out to be even more difficult, the biological basis of intelligence. How'd you do that? Well, I compared the DNA of high IQ and low IQ people to identify differences. It turns out there are many. When I retired, I left to the next generation of researchers to find out what differences have the biggest effect on IQ. Isn't IQ racist and not that important? For all races, IQ, which is a measure of reasoning ability, is the best predictor of school success, and everyone knows that reasoning ability is crucial to survive in our ever more complex world. But what good is it to know the genes of IQ, and all that research money could for sure right now help the poor like a guaranteed basic income? Here's why. You give a person a fish, he eats for a day. You teach a person to fish, he eats for life. Well, that research is trying to help people eat for life. You see, we've been fighting the battle against multi-generational poverty with one arm tied behind our back. Everyone knows that both genes and environment matter. It's true of every animal, every plant. I mean, every mother knows that her kids were born with a distinct personality that tends to endure. But we're changeable. Environment matters. Yeah, but just as no matter how much you tune a VW Bug, it won't beat even a poorly tuned Porsche, unless a child has the prerequisite reasoning power, environment often doesn't help enough. The research's eventual goal is to enable all people, but especially the multi-generational poor, to elect, and I stress elect, to get what I metaphorically call an intelligence pill. So money isn't the barrier. It would be paid for by the taxpayer through Medi-Cal, like all medical procedures for the poor, so that all children can start life without a genetic strike or two against them. I saw her face tighten back to the badass look she wore when she stepped over me, so I changed the topic. Want to tell me about your art? Well, it's resistance art. I use bright colors to make fun of capitalists. I understand. That's why you're glad Mandami won. Fuck yeah! I understand. Her face tightened, like it was when she sighed and picked me up. She said, I see what you're doing. I saw that old movie too, Being There. When the guy didn't agree, he said, I understand. You've now done it to me 3 times in just these few minutes. Her face tightened more, and she sneered. Glad I could help. And she pounded out, head high, and thrust forward. I'm old, 80 years old. There has always been a schism between the generations, but I have never seen anything like today's. I'm not sure it bodes well. In any event, that's that essay is called The Old Scientist and a Young Artist. As usual, I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments, and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel, and certainly would welcome you taking a look at any of my 36 books. Perhaps most relevant to this is A Dose of Reality, or even relationship stories. But in any event, all 36 are on Amazon. In any event, I thank you for watching. I'm Marty Nemko.